Good morning, everybody. Oh, no. Good morning. There we go. This is such an exciting and amazing day for this university. On Monday, if you haven't heard yet, our Board of Trustees, members of the trustees voted 9-0 to provide the University of Southern Indiana an opportunity to transition from Division II athletics to Division I, to play at the highest level of collegiate athletics possible. Our trustees believe in us. Our trustees invest in us. Our trustees support us. Our trustees expect nothing but excellence from us, academically and also athletically. I just want to thank them. And we have a few of them with us today. Mr. Romaine, our chairman of the Board of Trustees. We have, yes. I should tell the audience that Mr. Romaine, he has worn his baseball jersey because he has 1 year of eligibility left. And he's always wanted to be a Division I athlete. He's also a graduate from 1973. We have also Trustee Christine Keck available for us today. Thank you, Christine. Trustee Callaway is in the house. Mr. Callaway, thank you, sir. And last but not least, our student trustee, Liam Collins. Liam, you stand up for a second. Stand up. Yeah. Also want to recognize Trudy Stock. She is president of our foundation board, and I just want to thank you for being here today as well. Let's give her a round of applause, please. And the University of Southern Indiana has an amazing relationship with so many people across this region, but it's also just so wonderful to have our mayor, the city mayor, Mayor Winnicky. Thank you, sir, for being here. And then we also have a colleague here, a good friend who I met as I became provost. He then became provost at Bradley University and now is serving as president for Eastern Illinois University. He was actually the former dean of the College of Liberal Arts here at USI for many years. Dr. David Glassman, thank you, sir, for being here. Then I want to thank also, we have regional leaders in here, folks who represent so many organizations that just believe in this institution, that are always at the forefront of providing solutions and access and just amazing partnership with us. So thank you all for being here and providing presence and just for driving on down. So let's just give them a round of applause also. These cheerleaders are amazing. I love these cheerleaders. Thank you so much, you all. I also need to thank the faculty, the staff, and also the administration of this university. People have come together. They have provided voice and insight about this process. We tried to just provide as much transparency as possible. In fact, we were receiving notes from other universities about transparency, how transparent this process has been. So I just want to thank everyone within our university community for participating. I want to thank our student body. Now, I come to work every day as a blessed human being to serve the student body. I remember when I was an undergraduate student at Tuskegee University and a graduate student at the University of Illinois, and there were faculty members, staff members that believed in me, allowed me to reach this opportunity in my life to be a university president. Without them, I would not be able to do it. Students, we are so fortunate to serve you, to lead you, and to also help you transform your life, to lead this nation and lead this globe. This is why we do this job. I also want to thank our student athletes. When I met the commissioner just recently, it was interesting. I was asking questions about why USI, and they talked about the academic prowess of this campus. I was also told because of our student athletes, their performance both on and off the field, the court, whatever your craft is, coach, whatever your craft is, they were bragging about our student performance. I call this good stress because of you, your performance, your ambassadorship, your leadership, your scholarship is the reason we're here today. So I just want to thank our student athletes and also our student body for just being who you are, leading this university. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Well, listen, I'm going to stop talking now because you all came to find out about the reveal. You know, what conference is USI going into? So I want to ask my colleague, Beth DeBouche, to please stand with me. I met Beth several months ago, and we sat together and talked for many, many hours. We've had so many meetings since then, talking about this opportunity, talking about this day. And over again, we began to talk about one particular set of words that just came to ring true in every conversation. And that word was fit. You know, being the right fit for OVC, being the right fit for this competition, and being the right fit for this opportunity, this time. And so, Beth, I want to thank you so much for being a colleague, your collaboration. She's been so available for every question. And I'll tell you right now, I feel like I have another PhD now in sports and NC2A athletics and rules. And you have been a great mentor. So thank you, and welcome to USI. And let me just have you take the microphone, please.
Thank you. And thank you so much for this warm welcome. It has been an absolute pleasure. And today, in particular, it is my honor on behalf of the Ohio Valley Conference Board and entire membership to welcome the University of Southern Indiana to our Ohio Valley Conference family as the 23rd member in our overall history. It is really a happy, happy day for us and an impactful day because this really shapes the future not only of USI but of the Ohio Valley Conference. And as Dr. Rashawn noted, this has been a labor of love, if you will, for some period of time. But having said that, this is the right time for this decision. And I really want to commend Dr. Rashawn, the chairman, John Mark, for their work in such a thorough and deliberative process to consider Division I membership. This was truly done the absolute right way, looking at all the issues that were involved. As Dr. Rashawn noted, we had an opportunity to meet back in the summer, John Mark, Dr. Rashawn, myself, and a few colleagues, to talk about what Division I membership could be and about the Ohio Valley Conference. That meeting was to last maybe an hour, hour and a half. I think 2.5 hours later, we concluded our conversation with the idea of having additional conversation. There was an immediate connection. I felt a warmth of heart by the leadership team here at USI and just such a strong commitment to student athletes and doing things the right way, if you will. And it seemed like, to Dr. Rashawn's comment, the perfect fit for the Ohio Valley Conference. With that, we went back, talked to our board, and I need to commend Dr. Glassman because in addition to USI's thorough review, the Ohio Valley Conference also had a thorough review and consideration about membership decisions. It's very important to us. Over our history, we've had very little membership transition, and that's in large measure to the fact that there is a right fit, like institutions coming together for the right reasons. So as we looked at USI, there were many, many reasons why there was keen interest in USI joining our OVC family. First and foremost, and you've heard it here today already, the commitment to students and the commitment to student athletes. It's so heartfelt and so clear the minute you talk to anybody associated with your athletics programs. And that certainly rings true in the Ohio Valley Conference. Commitment to integrity, making sure we do things the right way, again, something that you realize immediately when working with the people here. There's a competitiveness at USI. Certainly there's been a high level of success, and we can't talk about athletics without appreciating the fact that being competitive is important. When I talked to John Mark, he said to me early on, if we think about this, we're going to make sure that we're competitive in all sports, not just one or two. We're committed top to bottom. And that is certainly something that in my role as commissioner resonates because as a league, we are committed to being very competitive as well. We talked about a balanced sports program. USI sponsors the same sports, by and large, as the Ohio Valley Conference, so there's immediate homes for your sports programs within the conference. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the relationships with the City of Evansville. In my role, I've had my eye. When I left the NCAA as an employee 13 years ago, my mentor said to me, keep an eye on USI. It's a tremendous institution with, so much growth and potential and success. And I've done that. And when we came to Evansville, and we were so blessed to bring our basketball tournament here due to the leadership of so many that are in this room today, they talk so highly with such respect of the leadership team here at USI and everything that you've accomplished that it became obvious that we really did need to keep our eye on the growth and progression of this wonderful institution. So those relationships in Evansville that we cherish so dearly mean so much to us, and it made this such an easier entree to have these communications, because certainly Evansville and your community means a great deal to this league. The location of Evansville as well. We are the Ohio Valley Conference, so what could be more appropriate than a school on the Ohio River? It seems absolutely fitting that you're a part of the league. And then, mindful of our student athletes, your location now, basically in the center of this conference, is very important. It means that student athletes will be able to spend more time on campus, travel a little bit less, and have more time at home in their dorm rooms to focus on other issues as well. So geographic fit is also exceedingly important. And then lastly, the sustainability, friendships, a commitment to being part of the future of this league. It is obvious USI is here with this Ohio Valley Conference family, and we're so excited to be on the journey moving forward together. So with that, the offer of admission to the league was very easy, based on fit and commitment. So we are thrilled that the offer has been accepted for the 2022-23 academic year. With that comes an immediate ability for student athletes and the sport programs to be wove into our competition schedules and into our championships, which are so very important, and we are absolutely committed to making sure that that happens. Now, I know for a number of you in this room, you are familiar with us in the Ohio Valley Conference, or at least you've heard of the league because of our events being held here in the city. But for the benefit of the student athletes and coaches, you may be wondering what the future looks like. I'll take just a few minutes to talk to you about our conference. Our conference is the 8th oldest Division I conference in the United States. We have a strong leadership team. We are led by our presidents. David Glassman is our chair. But we also have a strong council of athletics directors. And today we have 3 athletics administrators here, Dr. Jamie Gordon of Morehead State University, Tom Michael of Eastern Illinois, and Jason Coomer, who's an alum who also now works at SIUE. So we're delighted that they could join us as well. Our headquarters is located in suburban Nashville. We have a wonderful staff. We have 2 staff members here today, Travis Talatasi and Logan Brooks, and 3 staff members actually, and Kyle Schwartz, and I'm delighted they could be here to join us as well. In our league, we have been among the first for many. We were the first conference to issue sportsmanship statements, one of the first conferences to break the racial barrier, and actually one of the first conferences, and I'm grateful, to hire a female commissioner. We have been a league that has committed to balanced athletics. There is no institution that always wins our Commissioner's Cup. We're across the board, top to bottom, very competitive, and we have good rivalries. And I will tell you, my colleagues at the back of the worm will welcome you with big arms and hugs, but they'll also want to beat you on the playing field. So that's part of the culture of this league. Most importantly, I'm going to tell you just briefly about our strategic plan, because it's not the type of plan most athletics conferences have. It's a plan focused on student athletes being on the center and about community, the importance of our institutions to our own communities, and that's certainly true here in the case of USI to Evansville, the importance of creating a community within the Ohio Valley Conference. We are a loyal batch that really do care for one another, despite the fact we're good competitors on the playing field. Most importantly, there's the sense of community that we want to provide our student athletes so they feel nurtured, cared for, and they can achieve their full potential academically and athletically in this environment. And then lastly, if we do things right, are positioned, because of these experiences, to be able to give back to their community. So I say to you in my role that we welcome you all to our OVC community. We stand with open arms to issue you a most gracious greeting. We will do everything in our power to make this transition as smooth as at all possible, and with that, shape the future for this wonderful institution and our terrific elite. So I look forward to getting to meet so many of you, working with you, and a bright future ahead. And with that, I will turn to my colleague who is an OVC alum, John Merkel.
Man, I'm excited. Gosh, I'm excited. Thanks for being here today. We appreciate everybody's taking some time to be with us. As Beth said, I am an OVC alum. I grew up in an OVC household. I grew up watching these great rivalries in the Ohio Valley Conference, and the student athletes go on to compete at the highest level. I watched great upsets of Power 5 institutions by Ohio Valley Conference schools in basketball, baseball, down the line. So I know the OVC. I competed as a student athlete, or let me rephrase that. I sat on the bench as a student athlete in the Ohio Valley Conference. So I know the OVC. It feels right. It felt like a good fit since day one. We had the conversations with Beth. I do want to say, though, I do want to take a second to recognize our colleagues and friends at the Great Lakes Valley Conference. We've been a member of the GOVC and a member of Division II since 1978-79, and that's been a wonderful home for us. We've built great friendships with many different people, coaches, administrators. Commissioner Namovich is a dear friend of mine. I've worked with him for a long time. We will miss the GOVC, but we still have some work to do in the GOVC. We still have a few months of winning some championships at the GOVC level, but I do want to say thank you to our folks at the GOVC, our friends. They've been, again, great partners and colleagues. Yeah, we believe in the OVC. We believe Division I is the right spot for us. I think one thing that Beth just mentioned is the access to championships right away in the OVC was very important. And that became clear from them on day one, and that was very exciting for us. We do have to find a home in a couple sports. Men's soccer and men's women's swimming and diving are not sponsored by the OVC, so Beth and I have been working, in fact, even just a few minutes ago before the press conference. We need to find homes, and Beth's going to help us do that with the men's soccer program and the men's and women's swimming and diving programs that we will start in the fall of 22, spring of 23. So some work to be done. We're super excited about this opportunity. Our coaches aren't aware of this, so I apologize, but I'd like to ask them to come, our head coaches, if they could come up and kind of flank the podium up here. Sorry, I know I didn't tell you this. Our head coaches come up and flank the podium up here. I want to introduce them. We have a few that are getting ready to hit the road right now. Coach Stein and Coach Gerard are getting ready to hit the road to Drury to get some W's here on Thursday night.
Beautiful. Thank you.
But I'd like to introduce them real quickly here. Before I start, I told this group on Monday, they've just been unbelievable to work with throughout this process. They've kept doing their jobs. They've asked questions when appropriate. They haven't been going to social media to voice their yeses or nos or what have you. They've kept the task at hand and done an unbelievable job. So I'd like to introduce them just briefly, and then I'm going to ask a couple to speak. Our men's basketball coach, Stan Gerard. Our baseball coach, Tracy Archuleta. Our women's basketball coach, Rick Stein. Again, Rick and Stan, let's hit the bus and let's get some W's back here this weekend. Okay, our women's golf coach, Jim Cheney.
All right.
Our men's golf coach, Dave Turpin. Our men's soccer coach, Matt Santoro. Our women's soccer coach, Eric Shainstein. Our softball coach, Sue Kunkel. Our men's tennis coach, Chris Crawford. Our men's and women's cross country and track coach, Mike Hilliard. Our brand new men's and women's swimming and diving coach, Cameron Kiner. And our volleyball coach, Randy Raff. Let's be real clear. These coaches will continue to recruit locally. They'll recruit the state of Indiana. They'll recruit this region. But this launch into Division I will give us exposure and brand recognition all across the country. And I know they're excited to embark on the recruiting trail here very soon. And obviously, that's ongoing as we speak. But we've been blessed with some great success here at the Division II level over the years. And here recently, we've won some national championships. I'd like to call on the coaches that have brought some national titles here back to USI to just give a few words on behalf of the coaching staff. So I'm going to start with our two-time national championship coach from baseball, Tracy Archuleta.
All right, sir.
Just want to thank everyone again for coming out. It's a very exciting time for us as coaches. It's something I know that we've all been looking for, and the questions, that we've had over the years of, hey, when are we going Division I? It's now. I mean, we're ready. We're excited about it. And I'll say this: we talk about all the different athletic programs and the different things about being Division I and this and that. We already have D1 fans. We already have D1 academic programs, from our engineering program, from our nursing program, from the Romaine Business to College. Yes. We're ready to go. I'm excited to do this with all these coaches. Hey, go Screaming Eagles.
All right.
And I'd also like to introduce the national championship coach, Ms. Sue Kunkel from softball.
All right, Sue.
Hi, thank you. I don't wing it just like Tracy does. I'm prepared.
That's all right.
Okay. Obviously, this is a very exciting time for the university and our athletic department. I am entering my 21st year here at USI, and I single-handedly have watched this university's campus and athletic department grow into something beautiful that people can call home. It all started when I got here, a team of young ladies. They wore gym shorts and a T-shirt as a uniform, and we had a field that was a little to be desired. We went on to win a national title. We are extremely proud of the success of our programs here over the years that brought us to the point where we're here today. With our department's successes as a whole, the winning cultures that we have, and the wonderful people that surround us every day, it makes me confident that we can and we will be competitive in the Ohio Valley Conference. This journey may be challenging and a lot of hard work at times, but we are very excited about the experiences ahead of us, knowing that we have all put ourselves in a position to tackle this next chapter with the highest integrity. USI has so much to offer, as we all keep saying, academically, athletically, but it truly is a wonderful place for students and student athletes to have an amazing season. But for now, like John Mark said, we are very excited about the upcoming season, which starts this Friday, and we plan to leave Division II with another monumental one.
All right.
Before I hand it back off, I want to, again, thank everyone for being here. Our student athletes came out today. We appreciate you. We know this is a stressful time for you with the transition, but we'll be very supportive of you in this process, and I feel like we have a great leader from the OVC and Beth to help us through all these questions that we may have. We have our athletic administration team. I'm not going to introduce them all and embarrass them, but I appreciate our athletic administration team, our support staff, everybody, again, that's helped through this process. I've been kind of hard to deal with over the last 5 months, and so I appreciate them bearing with me and being patient through this. To our faculty and staff are here. We'll still be committed 100% to academics first. I know you hear it all the time. It's a cliche, but they are students first and athletes second. We're 100% committed to that. That's not going to change. That's our core value. That's what we do. That's who we are, and these coaches will be committed to that also. So, again, we appreciate you being here today. Dr. O'Shawn, I'll hand it back to you.
Man, John Mark, your words have been just so amazing and wonderful to my ears. I want to thank the coaches here. Have a seat, coaches. We're so fortunate today. And you can just feel the energy in this arena because it's authentic, it's sincere. Mr. Romaine, it's funny. You keep hearing people say thank you to everyone because of this community. You know, I came into the building today, and I'm watching staff members, tarp the floor, put together everything perfectly, because they all believe in this institution. Every job here is honorable. Every job. All that people do to make this place work is dependent upon each and every individual as a team. And I tell you right now, when I'm around our coaches and our student athletes and our student body, that's what we have. We have an amazing USI team. So I want to thank you, for your leadership. I want to thank everyone, because I know this has been a labor of love, but it's been a bit stressful at times as well. Mr. Romaine and I, we have talked so much, my wife thinks we're dating. Okay. It has been an amazing event where I've learned a great deal. Let me turn to one other special individual in the house to make a few words. I have been fortunate as a transplant to Evansville to meet Lloyd Winnicky. Lloyd has been a friend of mine. He has been a confidant. He has been a mentor and an amazing sage. And I asked the mayor, I texted him, in fact, and said, listen, can you adjust your calendar to be here? And he said, for you and USI, count me in. So, Mr. Mayor, can you please come to the podium, please?
What a day. Think about the word relationships today.
Yes, sir.
And the relationship that this university has with our city and our region. It's really key. The University of Southern Indiana is truly an educational, cultural, and economic hub for our region. What is good for USI is good for Evansville and good for our region. And when there is success on this campus, there is success beyond this campus. Yes. And over the last almost 6 decades now, there have been a lot of success stories on this campus, which has translated to success in our community. I think about the relationship between the city and the Ohio Valley Conference. It seems like it was just a few years ago. It seems longer that Deputy Mayor Steve Schaefer and Scott Schonecke from the Ford Center went to Nashville to talk about the prospect of Evansville hosting the men's and women's Valley Conference championships. And from there, we proved ourselves. And I think the relationship that has blossomed between our city and this conference will only be stronger because of the new relationship between this university and this great conference. I think a lot has happened on this campus over the decades, almost 6 decades now. It's hard to believe. Milestone after milestone after milestone. This is yet another one. This milestone will be as important as all the other academic and athletic milestones before it. So on behalf of the City of Evansville and our greater region, congratulations to the university, to the conference, congratulations to the trustees and the business community and everyone who's come out to support this great milestone for the University of Southern Indiana and for our region.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, right before we began the press conference, Kendra Strupp, my vice president for communications, she called an audible. And I'm going to do the same thing, but to call an audible as well, because I really would love this audience to hear from one other person before we take questions from the media. And that's our chairman, Mr. Ron Romaine. So, Mr. Romaine, can you come say a few words, please?
You thought Ron was kidding. I really do have 1 year of eligibility left. I'm planning on using that, Tracy. Just remember, hey, this is a great day. The trustees really went through a process over several months to make certain that this was the right decision, not for the short term, but also for the next 5, 10, and 15, 20 years, for the long term. And I really want to thank them again for the hard work that they did. This was not an easy process. It was very deliberative and involved the thinking of each one of the 9 trustees. I'm most proud, I think, of Liam Collins, our student trustee, and the involvement that he stepped up to make this a success. He was the one who actually made the motion that we make this move. So, Liam, thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. And I'm an alumni, I'm a student athlete, probably about like you, John Markall, in those days. but it's just with fond affection that I have about this university and where I see us going. And I know the fellow trustees feel the same way. It's about where we're going, not necessarily where we've been. And we've had a bright past, and I know we're going to have an outstanding future. I just thank everybody for their participation in this process, and I just kind of challenge everybody to think about where we can go, what we need to do to step up and make this a successful Division I program, one of the most successful Division I programs anywhere. I think it's in our DNA. We've had so many opportunities to prove ourselves on various levels, academically and athletically, and I know that tradition is going to continue. So, Ron, thank you very much.
So I invite the media if they have any questions. We got some brilliant people here in the audience. What can we answer for you all? We've done that good of a job. All right. Oh, please. You know, I got to tell you, Beth hit it. The day I met Beth and her colleagues, when the way they welcomed us, the thing that hit me between the eyes, though, is how much they knew about our campus. We have a fact book. They had gone far beyond that with amazing data about who we are, where we've been. They knew much about not just our student athletes, but about the performance of our student body. They knew a great deal about our faculty. They knew about our accreditation. It was just amazing to sit there. It was also humbling to sit there with a Division I commissioner, asking us to please consider this possibility. I looked at John Mark and on the way home, and I was talking to him. I said, this is an opportunity that's been developed because of our faculty and our staff and our students, this community. No one else can take credit for this. This is not an I moment. This is the biggest we moment you could ever imagine. And so I won't forget that day. It was an amazing lunch that turned into many hours and great conversation, but it began that moment without question. Yes, please. You want to answer that? Okay. John Mark, please.
Me?
Yeah.
That's a good question. The question was, how do we feel like the OVC culture and USI kind of fits together? And so, again, I think I mentioned a little bit in my words. Again, I'm talking way too much about myself, but I just grew up in it. I knew it. The way their campuses, academically are strong. A lot of state institutions that look like us. Again, I think you can see at their championships, and I've been involved in some of those as a student athlete, and then watching as a fan, the way they treat the student athletes at their championships, the way they try to run first-class events, the way they try to make it everything about them is student-centered. It's not about the institution or the coaches. Sometimes you see, unfortunately, it's about the student athletes. I think that's really, really important. That really resonated that day that Dr. O'Shawn and I had lunch with Beth and her colleagues. It just the student athlete centered part of their institutions and their conferences just really kind of hit home with us. And again, I was fortunate enough to grow up in it a little bit, so it wasn't a surprise to me. I think maybe, speaking for Dr. O'Shawn, maybe it hit him a little bit differently than it hit me because I was aware of that. But again, that culture, that student athlete centered culture I think is very important. And I think we fit into that, or hopefully our student athletes would feel that way. And I think when they go to a championship, an OVC championship, they're going to feel that. I think when they see Beth and her staff at OVC championships, they're going to see that they care about the student athlete, and it's not about anything else other than their experience as a student athlete.
So the question was about the location of our basketball tournament, and we've been so very fortunate to have our tournament move here to Evansville into the Sports Center and just get such a wonderful level of support. And Steve Schaefer and Jim Sangren, who are the co-chairs, I believe, of the local organizing committee, and Eric Marvin are all here today relative to the tournament. We love having our tournament here. There are nothing in our bylaws that would preclude the tournament from staying here as a result of USI's addition to the Ohio Valley Conference. And certainly to the extent that folks will be willing to have us, it is the absolute right location for us.
In the long term, how do you see this move to Division I athletics affecting campus, student life, academic life, athletics, everything like that?
You know, I'll take that, John Mark. I think that it will speak boldly to the experience of the students, giving them a more holistic opportunity to enjoy this campus from A to Z. You know, one of the things that we pride ourselves on as academics is not only this four-year matriculation, we pride ourselves on you coming back as an alum. You know, you going out and becoming a business person, an entrepreneur, a policymaker, someone who's leading within the region or the world, and letting people know that you are a USI grad. So I really believe that this only expands. You know, listen, let me just be very candid with you. I'm the president of this university. I'm a proud president because we have Division I faculty, Division I staff, Division I administrators, and now we have Division I student athletes. This is nothing new for us. We've been working at this level long before this day. You know, we're recognizing that through this moment, this opportunity. So I think this is only going to build on the culture. It's going to build on our brand, our DNA. People are going to sing this song far and wide about who we are with great pride and enthusiasm. So that's how I feel this.
Last call from the media. Any questions?
And so, furthermore, the student athletes that here presently have already recruited that are coming in and are recruiting, what is the overall feeling of the student athletes as they basically ratchet it up another level?
It's a good question, Todd. I think, you know, I'm looking at so many of our student athletes in the crowd today. I think everybody's excited but anxious too, right? They came here to USI to compete at the Division II level and to compete for GOVC and Division II championships. And so we understand the stress that this process has probably put on them because they came, you know, again, you know, to compete at that level, and now we come in February and say we're moving to the next level. I think when Dr. Roshan and I met with them Monday afternoon, but you can see again some stress, right? It's natural. They got classes going on. They're in the middle of seasons. We got teams about to start their seasons, but you can see a level of excitement. They're competitors, right? They want to compete at the highest level. And what we may find out that, you know, maybe it's not right for everybody, but I think it's right for most. I think I can already see the last couple of days, again, their level of excitement rise, their level of understanding. I think even today will make that even will ratchet up a little bit because now they know they have a home. They have a place to compete for championships next year, and I think that's really, really important. So it's not like they're not going to be competing for championships during this transition process. But we're going to work with them. It's a stressful time. It's a good stress, again, because they're ultimate competitors. Heard a couple of them on the news the other night just talking about, you know, how the level of everything's just going to have to move up, right? It's just going to have to move up. And I think our coaches have already prepared for that, and I think they've prepared their student athletes very well for the announcement in case it were to happen, which it is.
I'm sorry. Listen, thank you to the media also for coming out. It's an exciting opportunity to have you all in our presence, you know, for us to share our story with you. So thank you for making time for us. I want to thank all of my colleagues and friends in the audience for making time to come out and support us. And for the students that are in the room, remember what I said. Every faculty member, every staff member, every administrator on this campus is blessed to serve you. Because of you, our lights are on. We have a future. Help us tell that story. We want this to be the campus of choice. We are the campus of care. We thank you for being here. And thank you for coming, everybody. Let's give this a round of applause, please. Thank you.